Hi again guys, welcome back to another video. As you can see, I've got this beautiful Telecaster with me today. So for those of you who aren't too familiar with it, this is the Richie Kotzen signature Telecaster from Fender. It's made in Japan, and for today I thought we'd do a quick playing and a bit of a reviewing really. If you've sort of wanted to buy a guitar like this, or you know, been on the fence about maybe getting one, there's going to be a few things you're going to want to know about it. That is mainly, what does it sound like, and two, how big actually is that neck, because everyone online always talks about this chunky neck on it. Now, it is a bit of a whopper, but I don't think it's as big as people may be making out. But what we'll do today is play some examples and try and get some close-ups of the guitar so you can see, and just sort of, you know, I'll do a bit of talking about it, my opinions on it, my first thoughts on it when I got it. I've had this guitar for quite a while now, and it's a joy to play. I really love it. For anyone who doesn't know Richie Kotzen, you know, where have you been for the last forever? He's an amazing guitarist. He played a little bit in Poison and Mr. Big, but I knew him more for his solo career he's had for forever, basically. The original guitar came out in, I think, mid-90s, so it's been around for a long time. So without further ado, I'll do a quick bit of playing for you, and then we'll talk a bit more about some of the unique features on this guitar. So here goes. Here's the neck pickup. I'm plugged into a Plexi today. Nothing too outrageous, just sort of like a nice classic blues crunch, I guess. So I'll do a bit of noodling for you, and then we'll look at a close-up of the guitar. So, a bit more about the guitar. As you can see, it's a little bit blingy for a Telecaster. Teles are normally a bit more understated. So, the first thing when you open this up out the case is that stunning flame maple top on it. So, it just really hits you in the face, doesn't it? It's super cool. Loads of sort of streaky lines in it. And of course, a sunburst finish. But what I love about this is the binding on the edge of it. You do get that on occasion on a Telecaster, but you know, not on your sort of standard Teles, so it really just pops the finish. And of course, you've got gold hardware all over it. The tuners, the pickups, the control panel, it's gold everywhere. So it is a really blingy guitar. So it's got a few unique features as well. So one which I really like is these cutaways on the back. So we'll go to a close-up obviously, but you can see here on the back, you've got this nice sort of belly cut. So that's really comfortable when you're playing the guitar for a long time sat down, or standing up I guess. And another feature here, the slight arm contour, like you get on a Strat. So if you're more familiar playing a Strat and you pick this guitar up, it's going to feel very, you know, much at home. It just sits against the body lovely. Sometimes I've got another Tele with like the more traditional body, the sort of slab body, and I do get a bit of a rash on my forearm after playing it for quite a while, you know. So on this, it just feels lovely to play. I'll go through the pickups as well. These are Dimarzio pickups. So like I said, this guitar's built in Japan, but it's loaded up with American electronics and pickups. So we've got both Dimarzios. This is the Twang-king in the neck, which is quite a low traditional output pickup, very Fender-esque. And then the bridge here, we've got what we call the Chopper T. This is a bit more punchy. It's a pickup focused on the sort of low end and the mid-range. So you'll hear when I go between the two, it's a lot more pokier. So between the two, it's a very versatile guitar. So I'll just plug in, do a couple of chords on the neck pickup and switch to the bridge so you can hear the difference between the two. So here's a couple of chords on the neck pickup. Very dynamic. I'll dig in a little bit. And here's the bridge, so watch out for this one. So you can hear the big difference between the two there. This bridge pickup is definitely hot, but it still retains that kind of Tele twang, which is really cool. I was kind of worried about this was just going to be a total high gain monster, but it still has that kind of spank you get out of a Telecaster. So, you know, I'll show you the middle position as well. So here we go. I'll go for the 3. So middle position. And the bridge. So again, it's a bit of a hot-rodded Tele, this, I guess, with that bridge pickup. It's not what you're normally expecting. Again, I'll roll the volume down on it as well to get some more traditional tones. So this is the bridge pickup. Full volume. Roll down halfway. And a bit more. So great tones wherever you are. I'm really favouring the neck pickup at the moment for bluesy sort of noodling. It's great for that. But when you're in the middle position, we have something a little bit different. This isn't actually a tone control. It's a rotary series parallel switch. So that can give you traditional Tele tones. Twangy. Then when you twist it over, we're going to get this. Which is much more of a push sound, more towards a humbucker. Again, back to the traditional sounds. And again. So really cool feature that. Now again, that only works when you're in the middle position, so you can have that set to constantly on the parallel option, I guess, and just sort of at the flick of the toggle there, go to it. Super cool feature that. So let's see what else this guitar has. So again, the main thing I want to talk about with this guitar is this neck. It's a maple neck, and it is a chunky one, but don't that put you off the guitar. It's finishing this lovely satin finish. We'll get some close-ups. You've got these really cool abalone dots here, so normally you'd get, I guess, black dots on a maple neck like this, but you know, they're all different. They sort of, as you catch them in the light, they sort of jump out at you a little bit. So a few features on this neck. Like I said, you've got the abalone dots, but you've also got these humongous frets. These are these sort of jumbo fret wires. You don't normally get those on Fenders, but they just make it sort of effortless for bending the strings. You can really get a lot of, I guess, flesh in between the frets there, and it just feels lovely for big vibrato, wide vibratos across the neck. But again, like I said, this satin finish on the neck, Fenders often have, I guess, quite a thick lacquer on them, depending on what you've played before. But this satin finish, you know, we'll get some close-ups, like I said, it's just stunning to play on. And I guess a lot of people are going to find this a chunky neck, but I'm used to playing Les Pauls anyway, so this is very comparable to my 57 reissue in my black Les Paul Custom, which has got quite a chunky neck, but it's not anything that's unplayable, but I did want to, you know, touch on that, so we'll get a few close-ups so you can see that. The neck is fairly consistent all the way up, so it doesn't sort of taper to a thinner neck up here. It is just chunky the whole way. But like I said, you pick this up for 5 minutes, you'll get used to it straight away, and if you're a fan of bigger necks, then you'll fall in love with this guitar just like I have. So again, at the top of the headstock, we've got gold hardware everywhere. We've actually got GOTOH tuners. Again, there's been a Japanese guitar. GOTOH are big in Japan. And we've got the little scribble from Richie Kotzen on his little signature at the top there. So it's also a string-free body in the back, like a traditional Telecaster. So we've got the full bolt neck plate here, the sort of string ferrules here. You know, pretty common, you know, on a normal Telecaster. So I know some Teles go through the bridge, but I prefer the Teles that go through the back. I was just convinced it has more sustain to it. So another feature I love from this guitar is the more modern bridge here. If you're familiar with playing sort of traditional Telecasters, you'll see a lot of Teles have those ASHTRAY style bridges, which look super cool, but are always digging into your skin, you know, into your hand when you're playing it. I like that we've got 6 individual saddles here as opposed to the sort of 3 traditional brass saddles there. So you can adjust each one individually. Again, nice to have the option. I've not had to touch anything on this guitar. It came great from the factory, but it's just nice to have those features there. So yeah, I should plug it in and do some more playing for you. So Richie's sort of a player who plays a lot with his fingers. He can do pretty much anything on the guitar, but I'm going to try a little bit with the pick and the fingers here so you can hear just the dynamics, you know, so... So very dynamic on that neck pickup. Let's go to the bridge, play some riffs. So I thought I'd chat a bit more about the guitar. So obviously, if you're a fan of Richie Kotzen, you'll have seen him playing these guitars on stage, and that's probably enough for most people to want to buy one of these. But I thought I'd come at this from a different angle. So if you're getting into playing guitar and looking to get a Telecaster, is this the right one for you? And I'd say if you're after a traditional Tele, this probably isn't the right one to buy. This is more of a kind of hot-rodded Tele, so you can still get your sort of traditional sounds, but the features this guitar has makes it more of a modern player's guitar, I'd say. So for me, it does the bit of best of both, really. I love the way it looks and the way it feels. It's much more comfortable than a traditional Tele. You can still get the sort of twangy traditional tones for noodling up here, for playing your blues, and you get your more riffy sounds down here, so hugely versatile. One thing to note though, when you buy this guitar, it doesn't come with a case. It doesn't come with a gig bag, it just comes in a box. So that's a bit annoying, to be honest. For a guitar this pretty, and it's quite a price, you'd expect it to come with a case at least, but I guess they've done that to cram as many features into the guitar as possible. So like I said, the American Dimarzio pickups, the jumbo frets, the abalone, the bound body, the gold hardware, you're getting a lot of guitar for the money, but I just did want to mention that there's no case with it. But us guitar players have probably got cases lying around. It's probably not the first guitar you brought if you have to get into something like this. I've got another Tele which it fits in that case easily. So that's just one point I wanted to mention there. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Just to summarise, this is a great guitar. It plays just as good as it looks, really. So if you're after a sort of hot-rodded Tele, this is definitely the one for you. If you're after something a bit more traditional, probably not the one to get. Don't be put off by the neck on this thing. It's a great guitar. If you can get to a shop to try it out, I guess the only way you're going to know is by playing it, sadly. But you know, the neck isn't as big as people make out. Yeah, it's chunky, but if you're used to playing a Les Paul, you're going to feel quite at home with this one. So, you know, again, stunning guitar. Fender have done a great job with this. The build quality is exceptional. It's probably covered in loads of fingerprints at the moment, but, you know, it is a stunningly finished guitar, and I'm very much a fan of it. So I'll play you out. Thanks again for watching. If you brought one of these and you're a fan of it, let me know in the comments, or if you're on the fence about getting one, drop me a message in the comments and I'll chat to you about it a bit more if I've not covered everything for you. But yeah, here we go. We'll play you out. Thanks again for watching, guys.